I hereby call the regular board meeting of the Eckhart Chester Board of Trustees to order. It's August 20th, 2020. Due to the health and safety concerns related to the COVID-19 coronavirus, this meeting will be conducted by video conference or by telephone. At least a quorum of board members is present by video conference call in accordance with the provisions of section 551.125 or 551.127 of the Texas Government Code that has been suspended by the order of the governor. The subject to be discussed or considered or upon which any formal action may be taken are listed below. Items do not have to be taken in the same order as shown in this meeting notice, unless removed from the consent agenda items identified within the consent agenda items. I call the meeting to order. Chris, could you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Ms. Rocha, could you lead us in a prayer?
Yes, of course. Heavenly and loving Father, we come together as a family just to give you all the praise and glory that you truly merit. Heavenly Father, we thank you for your continuous blessings that you place upon our district. Tonight, as we come all together here, whether we're Zooming at home or here, Heavenly Father, we just ask that you guide our board members, that you give them all that wisdom that they need as they have to make all those critical and important decisions for our students and our district. Heavenly Father, we ask that you bless them and keep them safe all the time, as well as their families. We ask that you bless everybody listening to this Zoom meeting, and Heavenly Father, we'll just give you all the praise and glory. We'll never cease giving you all the praise and glory that you truly merit. We ask all of this in Jesus' mighty and precious name, and we say amen.
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 Thank you.
Okay, we're going to go ahead and go to item 3, comments from the public. Were there any registered?
No comments.
Okay, then we're going to go ahead and jump into number 4, presentations. A, COVID-19 related updates. Ms. Rocha?
Yes, we have Mr. Riojas that's going to be making a presentation.
Do we need to do roll call or no?
Yes, roll
You know
call.
what? I am so sorry. Yes, let's go ahead and do roll call. Okay. All right, Mr.
Bobby.
Chris Morales?
Here.
Mr. JJ Ibarra?
Here.
Mr. Robert Peacock?
Here.
Mr. Rolly Lozano?
Here.
Mr. Robert Smalltree?
Here.
Mr. Tony Barco?
Here.
And Fernando Torres is present. All right, now we'll go to number 4, presentations, COVID-19 related updates. Mrs. Rocha, I'm sorry.
Yes, sir. Mr. Riojas is going to be doing a presentation. He's
Yes, yes. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Short presentation. As of this date, we've got about 62 total FMLA. That's 62. I'm going to break it down for you. 38 individuals have acquired the virus. Out of the 38, 24 have already returned back, and 14 are still out at the moment, and they're waiting for results. 26 of them were sent home because they were exposed, positive, or someone in their household. And out of the 26, 18 of them returned back as negative, and 6 of them are out at the moment. Still waiting. We're pending testing on these 6. There's one individual that has taken leave because of health reasons. And of course, we've had 3 fatalities. Actually 4, because I believe we had one in March, which we had not yet started with the count. But we seem to be having progress. As of from last week, we were inundated with applications the last 2 weeks. This week, we have seen a drop in the number of individuals that have applied for it. So hopefully the trend will continue to next week to continue dropping even more. We've been doing, I've been doing some training online to all our employees. There's a recording also of me for those of them that missed my 2 or 3 in-service. they can log in and the process in which employees can file for the emergency sick leave in case they acquire this virus. They also are getting trained on FMLA, regular FMLA, and of course the family first coronavirus sick leave. So that's my report. Again, 38, a total of 62 or 65 have applied. And like I said, 38 of them have acquired the virus, of which 24 have returned already back to work. 14 are still out there pending results. And those, we've got around 26 that were exposed. And out of the ones that were exposed, 18 of them have returned back and 6 were still pending on their results. And that's my report.
Thank you, Mr. Ross.
Mr. Torres, is it, can we discuss anything here or no?
Yes, I mean, it's a presentation. You can ask questions.
I just have, Mr. Riojas, is there, at any point, are we going to review the policies and procedures for the return to school or back to work? I know CDC has recently changed their guidelines. And, is there any way we can review that here in a future date?
Yes, sir. And in the next board meeting, we'll present that. I've been getting notification that the CD has changed some of the protocols, and that's some of the things that we might consider for an employee to return back. I know that presently we have in our protocols that in order for you to return back, you need to bring a doctor's excuse saying that you are cleared to be around people and return back to work. Plus, we are also requiring an individual to bring back a negative result, but that negative has to do with a nose swab. Now, there's questions having to do with that nose swab, because if you acquired the virus, the antibiotics seem to linger in your body, and it doesn't matter, maybe 2, 3, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, and it will still show that you're positive. And I've been getting a lot of requests that doctors have now are not recommending that they do the test very often, because it will come out positive, because those antibiotics remain in your blood. So on those individuals, they're being recommended that maybe if the doctor recommends that you don't have any symptoms any longer, and the doctor feels that you're safe to go back after being quarantined for 2 or 3 weeks, that we might consider that as an option for us to let them to come in back to work.
Awesome. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that.
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Rojas, I have a question. Can you give us an update on some of the steps the district has taken to mitigate the spread of the virus on school grounds?
On school grounds?
Yeah, because you mentioned we've had employees who have passed because of it. We've had employees who had the virus. What steps are we taking to ensure that the spread is not happening on school grounds?
Okay, at the present moment, we've got protocols that any employee in the school campuses or facilities, that they must all wear masks. I've got all my principals, and we've given several in-services on the importance of stressing that everyone should be at least 6 feet apart, that they don't meet in any type of groups, that their face mask be on at all times. And we just acquired the face shields, which we are now requiring everyone to wear them, as long as they are if they're acting between one another in the same room. All of these steps have to take place. We're stressing that they constantly use cleanliness, washing their hands, and we're basically putting almost every individual in a separate classroom or an office. We're trying to do away with any individuals being together in the same room. So if it's possible, we're letting them know to keep your distance, stay in your own room, stay in your offices, do very little contact with one another. But those are the methods that we're doing right now. And I've got several people going out there checking on the campuses, along with the principals. I've got several, we have set up the security guards at the entrance of every school, checking anyone that comes in. And they are also being our watchdogs at the campuses and facilities. They're reminding individuals that for some reason they see them without a mask or without their shield, they're very kindly reminded that for the best interest of everyone involved, for the safety of everyone, that they wear the masks.
Those are all good steps. What about the use of technology? Have we purchased UV lights? Have we worked on? I know that we closed off some of the lobby areas with the plexiglass. I know that Risk and Sons has been around. I know we ordered the coverings for the desk for the students. The temperature readers. Where are we with that? Where are we with the sanitation stations? Where are we with the negative pressure systems in lobbies or areas where the public might congregate? Where are we with all those steps or all those requests?
In those areas, I believe that those items are right now in the process of being ordered or already ordered. I know that the business offices has those quotes from Mr. Rodriguez, Rudy Rodriguez. He was able to get some quotes on all of those individual items. And we're in the process, I believe, in ordering them at this moment. But I believe that the person that would be able to answer that question would be Mrs. Sylvia Garza, since she has those orders and those information for you.
So Sylvia, can you tell us what the delay is? Because I know other school districts have already started implementing some of this equipment in their schools and facilities.
Yes, sir. I have a short update for the board on the next item. Plus, I also have some approval items on the agenda for some of the touchless bathroom modifications. So that's up for approval in a few short minutes.
Okay.
All right. Then we're going to go to item 4B, project updates. Ms. Garza?
Yes. If Mr. Torres would please put the presentation up. Okay, we're going to start with the Hurricane Hannah damages. The district insurance has assigned an adjuster to the district. The adjuster made 2 visits with a team, made it out to the district this past week. They have assessed the district facilities, and they will be providing us with an assessment report as soon as it is complete. I know that they also came back out again to assess the gym. There are some moisture and rain got into the wood, and so they did have to come back to do for a 3rd time to assess that area. So as soon as they have their assessment report, I'll update you on the status of that. On the next slide, we have the negative pressure systems. Negative pressure rooms, this is what it is. It's a negative pressure rooms use lower air pressure to allow outside air into a segregated environment. The pressure traps and keeps potential harmful particles within the negative pressure room by preventing internal air from leaving the space. The system will decrease the chance of bacteria and viruses from entering filtered areas. Contaminated air will enter filtering machines and filter out bacteria, releasing only clean air. These type of systems are used by medical facilities, emergency rooms, and certain clinics. The system requires an open working space on campuses free of other people. One system covers about 16 square feet of space, and the cost of each system is about $2,000. So if I need to come up with a list to see which areas you would like to start with, so that we can maybe implement it and see how it works for the district. We've never had this kind of system before, so we would need to test it and see if it's something that'll work for. It may work for certain areas, but not others. But as the board gives me some direction as far as how many they want to start with, we can start doing those as soon as possible.
I would say we could start at central office because we need to open up already. And any of the lobby areas,
Okay.
Maybe the lounges, like where people congregate.
Yes, sir.
I agree.
I'll ask Rudy to provide the square footage so we'll understand if it's 1 or 2 units in that area or the amount needed.
Right.
I was going to ask a question real quick. So if we were looking at this per classroom, let's say in the near future, would one system be good for one classroom or for two classrooms? How do we?
We would like for them to come in and demonstrate for us and see if it would work. We would have to get a system for each classroom. I was hoping that they could use it like maybe in the entrance as the kids are coming in, but
The cafeteria for sure.
the cafeterias where they congregate, yes. And so we really need to test it and see how it works so that we can know if it's going to be beneficial for the campuses at all. So I think central office is a good size of area to start with because we do have a lot of people coming that need to come in and out of the office. So I can set that up and see so that they can give us a demonstration of how the system works.
Sylvia, I'd like to say that when I went by your business office the other day,
Yes, sir.
and I was pleased to see the plexiglass around the desks and everybody wearing masks. So I just want to commend you on that, and also the plexiglass. I mean, I spoke to some of your staff, and they're really pleased that plexiglass was up around their desks.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for that.
Okay, Ms. Sylvia, any other projects?
Yes, and the next slide, we have COVID prevention measures. The plexiglass shields have been installed by our maintenance. We've contracted with the Rissick & Sons, so they've come out and they should be in the process of installing them already. We still have about 5 locations that don't have one yet, but they are working on them to get all of those. They have all been ordered and they've already come out to measure. So those should be installed very soon. The plexiglass shields for the student desks were approved at the last board meeting. Gateway has already come out to take the measurements of all the student desks, and they are preparing one big entire quote so that they're indicating that it'll be about 4 to 6 weeks delivery time for those to arrive. And then we have our temperature scanners that were also approved at our last board meeting. The district has already placed that order for those scanners, and we're estimating delivery time mid-September. And then the last slide is the playground equipment. The playground equipment project was approved at the last board meeting. The awarded vendor has come out to assess the playgrounds. Some of the original playgrounds may be salvageable. Our maintenance director has gone out to assess some of the salvageable playgrounds, and he's going to be providing us a list with some of the pictures. And then the vendor has also indicated that the equipment will be ordered and shipped sometime in September. And is there any questions?
Ms. Garza, as far as the removal of the old playground equipment, I know, did the vendor give us a quote already on the removal?
Yes, he did. I just received it actually today. It's around $40,000 for the removal. So we need to take that to the board for approval.
Mrs. Garza, could you make sure, I know, can you make sure that also includes the removal of like the cement? I know the last time there was some cement left behind. Just ensure that quote also includes that before.
Cement. I sure will, sir.
Now, Sylvia, is it that much because we're trying to salvage some systems? Is that because I imagine that when you're taking a system out to repurpose it or use it somewhere else, be a lot more difficult than if you just went in there and demoed it and just scrapped the parts. Is that the reason for I guess the price? 'Cause it sounds pricey to me. I don't know what it goes.
Yeah, we did mention to them that we wanted to salvage the ones that were salvageable. So I probably, it may include some kind of expense for that because they do need to be careful when they're taking them off. But I don't see a line item for that. They're not indicating that, but we have mentioned that to them that we wanted to repurpose them.
Can we get with legal to see what liabilities, if any, the school district faces for, because I think we're thinking about donating it or you repurposing it just because you're moving the system, just to be on the safe side.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll take a look at that.
I was wondering, Mr. Ibarra, we can donate it, but what about if we were to put it all like in a central location and build it back up? I don't know, like behind the Ibarra over there. or would that just be asking too much, or should we just donate it? I mean, I know we haven't really brought that idea up, but
well, I know the idea was brought up to donate it, right?
So
I don't know where or to who or what, like a church or a municipality or.
And it would be,
because some of them is still pretty good. I mean, some of the systems, they're okay.
It would be their obligation to pay for the rebuilding it, right, and reinstalling it.
Well, yeah, the installation, yeah, that would.
I just want to make that clear. I'm good. You can continue, Ms. Garza.
Okay, that's the last slide that I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Garza. All right, then we're going to go with registration information presented by Ms. Rocha.
Yes, in trying to promote and let our people know about EdCalChelsea and what we have to offer and what we've been doing, tying into our curriculum, our distant learning, and everything that we're doing in our district to get ready for the new year. We developed a video, and I want to say that it was Mr. Vallejo and myself, and we got some with Jonathan, the one that helped us with the graduation video. And we got to practice the distant learning and the remote and working, because we didn't have pictures. We didn't want to bring anybody to record it. We're very proud to say that we got our storyline, our script, and then we tied in what we already had in our district pictures that went on what we were doing, like the staff development, some of the things that we did with distant remote learning earlier this year, even our fine arts, everything that we're doing. So we have a little bit video, and then again, tying it at the end. Our goal will always be to promote state champions and future leaders, and promoting the registration, and that we're an open enrollment district. So I'll ask Joe to play it so you can see it. And I want to say that it's been showing in Channel 5 quite a while. I'll talk a little bit afterwards.
Couch Elsa, even in these challenging times, we are committed to providing the very best educational opportunities for our students. Our teachers have been attending ongoing staff development to become more proficient in distance learning. All students will start via remote online learning beginning Monday, August 31st, 2020. Creating state champions and creating future leaders for tomorrow. Now registering students at www.eeisd.org. And Couch Elsa ISD is an open enrollment district. Motivate, educate, graduate.
And we only have 30 seconds, so we wanted to say a lot in the little amount of 30 seconds. And they've been showing it a lot at prime time with the news and all that. So we're very proud to market our school district and show. We did also, I don't know, Joe, do we have the picture of the banners that we had? We also ordered those, and we put them at every campus, promoting our registration, because we want our whole community to know about what we're doing to register. So we also put those out. Our registration didn't get you those figures because we were working on the rollover, and the rollover, we had to wait for that so that we can give you the figures. But in talking to our personnel that's doing that, we went from 29 and we're up to about 77%. And that's because that's as of Tuesday. So we're hoping to get there very quickly to enroll all our kids, our people at the campuses. Sandy and all the committee, they're working very hard. I know that at the high school, the transportation department, they got some buses, and we had some of the office staff that called, and those that needed packets, they went out to the house and took the registration packets, and then they went back and pick up. And we're utilizing, when we're giving out the supplies this week, we're also going to be using as much time to register everybody. So our goal is to get everybody back to EdCalChelsea. So that's one of the things that I wanted to tell you, that we're working very hard to bring. And I hope that video says a little bit about who we are at EdCalChelsea and how we pull together and support everybody in distant learning and challenging. Even though it's a challenging time, we're isolated, but we come together and we work together, and we provided a lot of staff development, and it's still going on, and time for the teachers to practice. So that's, any questions on that presentation?
Oh, thank you. All right, then we're going to go into number 5, consent agenda items. I'd like to pull in here, Sylvia H. The approval of Region 1 Business Office Support Services for the 2020-21. You basically have a consultant service that we use out of Region 1, correct?
Yes, sir. They come in twice a month to review our books and to make sure that we are they're all in order and that we're not missing any important information. They check our tax collections and they check our bond schedules and to make sure that we're ready for audit.
I'd like to see if maybe we could possibly look at looking at other options. What other consulting firms are out there that do the similar work that Region 1 does? Because I know we've had Region 1 for several years.
Yes, sir.
And I think it may be time to show some different strategies.
Okay.
I guess just to see what's out there before we commit to another year with Region 1.
Okay, sir.
Is there any board member that has a problem or discussion about that?
No, I'm good. I'm actually glad you brought it up. That's good.
Okay. All right.
I agree with that in many other cases too, Mr. Torres. When you use a company every year after year, you kind of want to mix it up every now and then, get some different ideas.
And I think it's time that we start looking elsewhere and bring some new ideas and let's see what we can find.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Any other item from consent agenda items? If not, then I'll entertain a motion.
So move.
Second.
All right, there's a motion by Mr. Lozano, second by Mr. Barco. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Then we're going to go ahead and go to number 6 now. Discussion and action items. A, discussion possible action to submit remote learning plan for approval from the Texas Education Agency. Mrs. Rocha?
Yes, sir. This is a plan that we had brought to you earlier that Sandy presented in great details. And the plan was put together and finalized with the support of everybody in the district, and Sandy leading this effort. She's been working very hard on this project. And she met with Dr. King, and at the end, and once it was put together, they reviewed it, they made modifications. Sandy, like I said, they got together, they made the necessary changes with Dr. King, and it's ready to go to be approved. As you know, we need to have it before the first day of school. And if approved tonight, we will start uploading it tomorrow so that we can send it off for your approval tonight.
So recommendation is to approve?
To approve so that so we can be in compliance with TA.
Did we create those, or was this something that TEA issued us, a plan that they issued?
No, this is the one that Sandy brought a few weeks ago, and we got committees to work on it, especially the curriculum, the principles. We did look at samples from all over, and we have to meet all the requirements. There's a template, and in there we have to meet for all the special needs, and we made sure that every facet that needed to be done was in there. And like I tell you, we have the expertise of Dr. King. That's he's very much aware of everything, and he reviewed it, made the modifications that we needed to make, and put the seal of approval on it as well.
I'd like to approve the plan.
I was just going to ask Dr. King, you feel comfortable with this plan that's being presented today, correct? Dr. King?
He's muted. Okay. Got it unmuted. Yes, I feel comfortable with that plan to start. The thing is to get a plan into TA and get their feedback. They will score it, and they will send any recommended revisions. So at this point, the main thing was to get in a plan that met kind of their standards. We can adapt and adjust as we go along as well, as long as those adjustments are approved by the board and then submitted to TA. So that's where we're at right now.
All right, there was a motion by Mr. Morales, second by Mr. Schmaltzy. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you.
The next item here is discussion possible action to appoint the named members of the District Safety Audit Committee. Mr. Riojas.
You're muted, Mr. Rojas. Unmute.
Yes, Mr. President, I submitted a list of individuals that we would like to have on the safety audit. As you may become aware of it, the state requires that every school district every 3 years submit the audit, a complete review of all facilities, and with recommendations to the board as to maybe the safety issues that involve in the district. So this report is due to the state in November. I feel that we have an adequate time and the adequate personnel to compile this list together. It should be presented to you sometime in the month of November so that we can have adequate time to submit to the state. So I am respectfully submitting that. We'll be getting together beginning as soon as possible to start this endeavor. It is a lengthy process. We have to evaluate every facility, evaluate the safety issues, and bring recommendations to you and submit to the state. So I respectfully ask that you submit, that you approve every member that we listed there.
So moved.
Second.
All right, there was a motion by Mr. Lozano, second by Mr. Morales. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. All right, we're going to go into item 6C, discussion possible action to approve cooperative vendor for the campus's bathroom modification with touchless system district-wide. Mrs. Garza.
Yes, board. I have requested some information from our bid vendors. I have 3 that sent us quotes. We have Gateway, Gulf Coast, and Central Plumbing. And these are some of the equipment for the bathroom modifications. We have the automatic towel dispensers, and we also have the touchless electric soap dispensers, the touchless hand sanitizers, the touchless water cooler and faucets, and the touchless hand dryers. Gateway is coming in with the least expensive quotes on the automatic towel dispensers, the soap dispensers, and the hand sanitizers. And we have Central Plumbing coming in with the hand dryers, the touchless hand dryers, at $21,250 for 50 dryers. So I'm recommending that we go with Gateway on the least expensive cost for the touchless bathroom modifications, and for the water cooler and the touchless hand dryers, I'm recommending Central Plumbing.
I've got a question on the dryer, the blowers, Ms. Garza, and I think maybe the committee can look at it. I'm under the impression under the CDC that it's not recommended to have blow dryers for bathroom.
Okay.
I think what they're basically saying is automatic paper dispensers.
Okay.
But not blowing or fogging or anything like that. I mean, that's what I've been told and what I've read. Does anybody have any other info that could support or reject that?
Mr. Torres, are you talking about the type of blower? Because I know I've been to different businesses, and there's some that you actually, like the Dyson, you have to put your hands in, and then there's some that are underneath. But I think you're pointing out that it's the movement of air, right? The circulation.
Right. The circulation of air is apparently what's supposed to be bad for, especially if there's like a bathroom where there's congregated people in there. They're recommending that it be an automatic paper dispenser that people can just rip off the paper and use it to dry their hands.
Yeah, I agree, Mr. Torres and Mr. Morales. Actually, those, so what you're saying, where you put your hands in, those are the worst ones that I've heard. But yeah, paper dispenser would be the best one.
Yeah, they don't say which one it is, so that's why I'm like, either one of them would be not good. So I agree. We should just do the automatic towel dispensers.
Yes, we did receive quotes for that as well, and they are coming in lower through Gateway. So I'm recommending we go with some of those lower costs from Gateway.
So what kind of cost are we looking at here, total cost?
For the automatic towel dispensers, Gateway is coming in at $5,164 for 100 of them. And Gulf Coast Paper is coming in at $8,821 for 100.
What's Kimbo?
All right, so then okay, so we're obviously going to go with the lower bid on this one.
Yes, what a Gateway is offering is they're offering the dispenser free, and the only cost would be the supplies to supply them with. But Gulf Coast is charging us both equipment and the supplies.
Well, that makes something of a difference. So So the gateway is giving you the dispenser for free as long as you purchase the paper with them, correct?
Correct.
I don't. Okay.
Yeah, that's a tough one now. I mean, because they basically hold the market on the paper. They can basically raise the price at any given time.
Did Central Plumbing put in a quote for that or no?
No, they didn't. The only thing they quoted on was the water coolers and the hand dryers.
Okay.
Mr. President.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Torres, I do recommend that we go with the paper towels. We do have found out that the hot air increases the bacteria in the environment.
Yes.
People are recommending that we go with paper dispensers as opposed to air blowers because of that fact.
Yeah, no, and I think the paper, it's part of the direction we want to go. It's just that if one company's telling us that we have to buy the paper from them, I think that might be the issue.
Hey, Sylvia.
Yes.
On the touchless electrical soap dispensers, there's a little note there that they're not in stock.
Yes, they're saying that they're not in stock right now, and it'll take about 6 to 8 weeks to restock their supply. So, but they are giving us a lesser price on it.
Yeah.
But we would have to wait for those.
Is the other quote in stock right now, Ms. Garza?
Yes, the higher quote is, yes.
And how much higher is it?
It's about $5,000 more.
Okay, okay.
I think we've got some time before we actually open up the doors for kids to.
Correct.
So maybe we look at the time, the date, see if it works within our schedule.
Okay.
All right, and I guess, Ms. Garza, can we look at obviously the lower price, but obviously we're not going to commit to being locked into a
correct
product line. So, okay, I would need a motion then.
So move.
But the motion is to exclude the touchless hand dryers, right?
Correct.
That's correct.
Okay.
Second.
All right, there's a motion by Mr. Lozano, second by Mr. Morales. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. All right, let's go ahead and go into the next item now. Discussion action to approve purchase a timekeeping system that will automatically automate payroll and interface into the district software. Mrs. Garza.
Yes, board, we made some calls and got some quotes on timekeeping systems in order to facilitate the payroll and to eliminate the cost of purchasing checks. And this type of keeping system, we already have one in place. It's called Time Clock Plus, but we have very few systems out there. I think we might have only about 5 or 6. So what we wanted to do is buy the systems to order ones where you can either use the fob or you can use a badge that you just either swipe or you pass it by and it'll read the badge. So what we did was we got some quotes from Time Clock Plus, and since we already own the software, the cost is way less than it would be if we went with a brand new company. Now we did also get quotes from Time Track Solutions and Kronos. The cost for Kronos was $118,000 for 17 clocks, and we had to order the software from them. Time Track Solutions was $157,000 because we have to order the software and everything has to be new. Time Clock Plus came in at $87,000 because we already own the software. We just need to buy the clocks and the badges. And so they do quote us, I believe each system was about $2,700. So we kind of put together about how many we would need. And roughly we're looking at about 17 of them. So this cost includes about 17 wall-mounted clocks for the and they also have a camera. So once you swipe, it takes your picture and it keeps track of your not only your time but your attendance as well.
Question.
Go ahead.
No, sorry. Yeah. There were none that did facial recognition or.
Yes, those were extremely expensive, but they do have them. We did not get quotes on those because not many of them, I think only one of them offers them. But we can go back and get that quote if you'd like. But for what we're trying to go with something that was touchless, and so that they didn't have to put their thumb or anything like that. So the one that we liked was the badge, because all you had to do was swipe the badge and it would record it. With the fob, anybody can pick up the fob and check in for you. But with the badge, it has to, you have to swipe it, and it'll recognize you. It'll take a picture of you.
No, that's fine, Sylvia. That sounds good.
Just to make sure the price that is being quoted includes that picture, right? It's not something.
Yes. No, it's a wall mounted with camera, and this is an estimate for about 800 employees, because we do have to consider if we ever have subs or somebody visiting the district, we may need to as well issue them one. So this will cover about 800 of them. But since we already own the software, we do not, the software alone is about 80,000. So it'll save us that amount of money.
So my question was more if we maybe look at a business case where we can show the savings by using the system. Do you have those numbers, or do we need time to come up with them?
Yeah, I would need some time to come up with them. The greatest thing would be that all this information, it'll download or upload into a file, which we can turn around and upload into our system, so that the payroll can be automated and it won't have to be keyed in manually. Because right now we work with manual time cards and manual timesheets, and so everything has to be keyed. It would eliminate some of the errors and of course help us speed up the process, especially for our direct deposit, to be sure that it always gets there on time. But I can put a cost savings together to see if what it would turn out to be.
I'd like to see if we could maybe table this till next month. Give Sylvia a chance to do a business case so that we can see that the benefit of doing this is going to save us much more money than what we're going to spend on it, so that us and the public will feel comfortable with us on this purchase.
I'm good with that.
All right, so then my motion would be that we table this one.
Okay.
Second.
All right, motion been made and second. All those in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. All right, and then we're going to go into the next item. Discussion and action to approve salary pay scales and stipends for the 2020-21 school year. Mrs. Garza.
For President, would you like to wait until after executive session?
I'd like to see if we can maybe move this one. I guess legal. I would like to move this one into executive.
Okay. Yeah. If we have any legal questions with respect to the compensation plan and what we can do because of COVID and all that good stuff, we could definitely do that.
All right. So then I'd like to make a motion.
Mr. President, real quick, does this have to be passed today?
No,
I don't know.
Is it time sensitive?
No, not the salary pay scales. No.
And the reason I ask is because I just received the list here about an hour ago, and I am getting. I did get. I know for sure there was the high school didn't turn in an updated one, and there was another campus. So again, is there any? Could we just table this item to the next meeting? Because, again, I don't know that an hour in executive or whatever is going to be enough time to really review it.
I'll second. If this is an informal motion, I would like to second that.
Yeah. Can I add real quick? If we get it digitally, it's real. The print is real small and kind of hard to decipher.
Yes.
We would have to approve this by August 31st. That's our time limit.
Well, we've been having meetings every day, so that shouldn't be a problem.
Correct.
All right, so then let's go back. So there was a motion by Mr. Lozano, second by Mr. Barco. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Are those opposed? Motion passes. Right, then the next one, F, discussion and possible action to purchase an AC unit from cooperative vendor for Ibarra Fine Arts Red Building Migrant Department. Mrs. Garza.
Yes, for President, we received some quotes for the purchase of an AC unit for the Ibarra Fine Arts, the red building. I believe this is where the migrant department is housed at the moment. We received 2 quotes, one from Train and one from Carrier. The Carrier quote is coming in at 72,300, and the other quote from Train is coming in at 74,929. Mr. Rodriguez has mentioned that the staff has been moved to another location for the time being, but that the AC does need to be repaired.
Does it need to be repaired right now? 72 or 74 is a lot of money, especially with what's going on right now.
Is it working right now? Is it cooling down in there for the staff that's there?
No, there's nobody there though.
They've been without air conditioning for over 2 months.
Yeah, that's the same thing I heard, Mayor. That's the same thing I heard. I think we need to move forward with this.
But are they there? I thought they said they were housed somewhere else.
Well, they had to be moved because of the heat. They couldn't stand it.
Is there any other area or building that right now we can utilize as far as for the migrant department? Has that been reviewed, sir?
I know that the place where they moved them for right now is I believe it's still at Ibarra, but I haven't seen the area, so I'm not familiar with it. If you'd like, we could do some research on that and see where a good place would be.
What can we table this one and bring it back with the addition of the stipends and those costs for that meeting, just to make sure that we analyze it right? Because 72,000, 2 quotes only. That would be my motion. We table to the next meeting just to get some more information and see if we can get a better price.
You made a motion?
I'm making a motion that we table this item as to the next meeting or the next time we get there.
So question here. Am I in line to say a comment, Mr. President?
Yes, of course.
Well, I was just going to say they've been waiting for over 2 months to get their air condition fixed or repaired, or unless we plan to move them again. Because my understanding was that we were going to make that a permanent home for them instead of moving them all over the campus, different campuses throughout the year.
And we did spend a lot of money rewiring that campus as well, getting them up and running so that way they can have the internet access that they needed as well.
Yeah, no, and I agree, but I think right now, since with all the hurricanes and things like that, and all the local issues, that's probably what's driving the price so high right now. So I'm just saying, if we have a place that they're at right now while there's no kids there, just to see if we can get a better price. 72 does sound pretty hefty right now.
It's very hefty.
That's what I'm trying to see. If we can just try to get a better price. But if they're at another building right now that they're comfortable at, I mean, it gives us some time just to see if we can drive the price down a little bit. I'd like to see another quote.
But here's the deal. I mean, if we're gonna hope to drive the price down because of the hurricane and all this stuff, a week's not gonna make a difference. I mean, we're gonna bring it back next week because that's what you said. We can bring it back during the stipend review. A week's not gonna make much of a difference unless Ms. Garza, you think you can go out there and try to get better pricing for us.
I can certainly try, sir. I can get another quote so that we can have something to compare. Other than
or if there's another facility that we could utilize, or another area that already has AC and.
Yeah, the problem with that is that we did move them over there, and we spent a lot of money rewiring that building. I mean,
yes, we did.
I mean, a lot. So I mean, everything's already housed there. They've got everything they need there.
And what I'm trying to say is maybe things were different when we did that, and we didn't know we were going to get hit with COVID and with the hurricane and with the loss of enrollment that we're facing and so many unknowns. I'm not comfortable with spending $72,000 on an HVAC system right now when we don't know if there's another place where we could house them, or, you know, I'm sorry. I can't in good conscience right now, with the information that's been provided to me, give my vote to that.
How's that right now? Ms. Garza, how's that right now?
I believe they're still in the same area. They're still at Ibarra, but I'm not certain where they were housed. There has Mr. Rodriguez. I don't know if he's on, but he's the one that set them up in a different location.
Well, the only thing there is that we have to find a permanent place for them, porque I don't think that it's good for the program for children not having a permanent place where they can literally call home there. I mean, they've been moved. This is the second time, will be the third time now. And if we move them again, it'll be like the fourth time.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Look, I'm willing to wait a week if Ms. Garza, you think you can find some better pricing. But yeah, if not, we need to move on something.
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm okay with that too. So
how's the last wing at Truan? Because I remember a long time ago, that's where they were housed at before. It was the one way on the south side. Was that when it was still being used, or will it be used in the future? Even though 6th grade's back at their campus, is that a possibility that they could be moved? I mean, I hate to move
we can
them
look
again.
into that.
What about the options, the old options wing at the high school as well?
How about, is Mr. Aguilar on here? What is he using the last wing for?
Mr. Aguilar?
Fred Aguilar?
Yes, sir. Right now,
the last wing?
Yes. Right now, the last wing is assigned. Although, as we all know, there's no students there. They're empty now, but I talked to Rudy at maintenance. He asked me about that. I said, well, when students come back, I'm going to need those classrooms.
Which they will be coming back.
Ms. Rocha, can we do this? Can y'all come up with, let's say,
we can
2 or 3 different options for us as far as...
Yes, and I'll involve Ms. Vela so she can be with us, and we'll look at all those options because I want her involved, and we can look and bring it to you by next week.
Please,
I would appreciate that,
including the price including the price for another unit or whatever, but also with 2 or 3 other options that we can look at.
We can certainly look at that, and I'll get the parental Monica very involved, and Sylvia and I will go look, and along with Mr. Aguilar, we'll look at the different facilities. And I agree with Tony, we need a location where they'll call their own, and we will look at those. We'll have a when we meet again, we'll have that for you all.
Okay, thank you.
Right. Okay, so there was a motion and a second. All those in favor?
The motion to the table? I'm sorry?
Yeah, to table the item until next week.
Okay, yeah, I go ahead with that. I agree.
Okay, those opposed? All right, motion will pass. Now we go to number 7, closed session. The superintendent requested the Board of Trustees convene a closed meeting as authorized by the provisions of the Open Meetings Act, Chapter 551 of the Texas Government Code. This executive session is in accordance with the Texas Government Code 551.074 for the purpose of discussing personnel, considering appointment, employment, resignation, retirement, evaluation, or reassignment, and B, consultation with legal regarding pending contemplated items. It is now 7:24. We are in executive session.
closed session. The superintendent requests that the board of trustees convene in closed meeting, or where is it? Yes. So we have item, it's A 55074 for the purpose of discussion of personnel considering appointment, employment, resignation, retirement, evaluation, reassignment, duties, discipline, or dismissal of a public officer or employee.
I'll go ahead and make a motion to approve what was discussed in executive session.
A second.
All those in favor? There's a motion by Mr. Smallsry, second by Mr. Barco. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion passes. Item B.
No action, sir.
No action? All right. Let's see.
No action.
The next item I have is item number 9, and it's adjournment. Right, so we've got a motion from Mr. Lozano, seconded by Mr. Barco. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Meeting adjourned. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Stay safe.
Good night.
You too.